Hi everyone,
Hi.
welcome back to Shadow Box, and today's episode seven.
Seven.
Seven. So today's topic is on what is spirituality, which is a really interesting question, but I'm going to let Laura take the lead on this one. So over to you.
Okay. So, what is spirituality? Now, a few months back at my book launch, this was my part of my opening speech. What is spirituality? Because it's one of those words that has so many meanings, and it's so fluid, and it's
Yeah,
so broad that it's not going to have just one definition, and it's going to mean different things to different people.
absolutely.
Over the years, I think I've sort of jumped from thing to thing, from understanding to understanding, and really, um, it all comes back to how you conduct yourself in your life.
Yep.
With an awareness of having a spirit.
Yep.
Right. So spirituality is living my life as a spiritual being, having a human experience within a physical body.
Yep.
And basically, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter the tools you use, doesn't matter if you go to a church or if you sit in a circle or if you
Yep.
Have an altar at home or a particular day of the week that you
Yep.
like to
Practice some
practice
ritual thing.
whatever it is that you practice. It all comes back to how you're conducting yourself, not being a dickhead, having compassion, not being a dickhead.
Not being a total
Yeah.
dickhead.
How to rise above the story of everyday life.
The drama.
How to rise above that and see things more objectively. Not that you're devoid of feeling, but being able to see things from an objective perspective.
Yep.
And seeing things as an experience from which you can
learn, grow, hopefully, and
exactly.
Or even just learn, because sometimes it's not necessarily just about growing, although growing obviously would come from it. Sometimes it's just about the experience itself and having
right.
that, and that might be something that's written into, your soul contract. So it might be just about having that experience and and moving through it.
And most importantly, having compassion for yourself.
Yes, first and foremost yourself, I think, because if you can't do that for yourself, you really can't do it for others. Yeah, I agree. Spirituality for me is definitely about, it's more to do with my relationship with myself, how I view the world, not so much how anyone views me or how the world views me. It's how I am in my world, what I'm doing, how I'm living from day to day. So for me, obviously I am pagan, I'm Wiccan, and I am part of a coven, so we do have, our full moon rituals and stuff like that we do. So we do have our certain traditions that we follow, but it's not that it's necessarily separate from my spirituality, but it is a part of my spirituality. So it's something that I do, which helps fulfill my spirituality. But my spirituality ultimately is about me, how I am with myself, understanding myself, getting to know myself fundamentally as a spiritual being. I'm definitely of the same thought. I'm a spiritual person, having a human life in a physical body. So for me, it's about understanding what that is, understanding my own journey, where I've come from, hopefully where I'm going, what I've learned, what I've experienced, and how I choose to conduct myself every day, whether it be with my family, whether it be with my friends, just the wider community, and trying to basically be the best me that I can. And even if I can't, who gives a shit? Loving that person I am anyway, and accepting that and saying, look, this is who I am. I'm not going to do everything right by most people's standards, and I'm going to make mistakes, but that's okay as long as I don't lose sight of me. And for me, the spirituality is about understanding me as a person, and that's as a whole, and that's everything. So the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the shadow self, the light self. It's all part of that same thing. We're all just energy. We're all parts of whole. So understanding that for me is what I think spirituality is for me. But everyone has a different interpretation on it. Spirituality, they think, like you said, is a church. You know, someone who might have a Christian faith or a Catholic faith or Buddhist, or, you know, whatever it is. And I think that's different. Spirituality to me is different to religion in
Absolutely.
that way. Um, but it's quite a complicated question because it's what you perceive as spirituality. This is how we see it. This is how it is for us.
Could be total shit.
It could be total shit. I mean, what authority do we don't have the authority to say
Hell yeah.
this is what spirituality is. But for us, this is how we see it. This is how we it fits into our life. This is how it works for us. But you might be different, where you might think that spirituality is, you know, like I said, having an altar at home and practicing, you know, religiously, quite literally religiously every week on Tuesday or Wednesday, you have a ritual to honour this, that, the other.
Spirituality is finding and maintaining your connection to your own truth.
Yes, exactly. Well put.
How
Very well
beautiful
put.
is that?
It's just so
Thanks, guys.
well done. But it's perfect.
Finding and
Perfect.
maintaining your connection to your own truth
Beautiful.
or your own
And
essence.
that is spirituality.
Oh, that's
Answered.
like music to
Answered
my
like
ears.
what 6 minutes, and it's answered perfectly. We take it away. We
It's
do have
fluid.
the authority, and
Yeah.
that's it. Okay.
It's fluid, but it's not. That's what it is. What I just said.
Well, it's interchangeable. As you change, your spirituality's
It's your truth.
going to change.
So-
Exactly right. So, and that's the thing, is understanding that your truth isn't going to be somebody else's truth. It should never be that way.
They're wrong.
How?
You're
Of course they
right.
are. They're wrong. Welcome to Laura's crash course on spirituality. Laura's School of Truth is the only way. Okay.
For me.
So, what is our religious day for the, you know, or how Laura? Tuesday, Thursday. Thursday shall be Laura Day, okay? It should be a public holiday every Thursday.
Should be.
The Church of Laura.
Church of Laura.
COL. No? Okay. But yes, it's going to change. Your idea of spirituality will change as well. The more you grow and change as a person, things could shift. But generally, at the core of it, we generally don't change that much at the core. You know, either you're someone who prides yourself on loyalty or honesty, integrity, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like fundamentally, we don't really overly change at the core. We are who we are at the core. However, how we use those things may change. How we perceive them as we get older will change. That things may change with that. You may shift a little bit on ideas. You might think, okay, so
Shit on your
shift. Shift. Did I say shift? That's so bad. Shift. 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 Crap. Buggery boys. Things may shift, okay? As you change, things may shift. So the execution and how you
Hopefully they do change.
spirituality.
Or you just stay the same.
Hopefully, I mean, well, do you really
Don't
want to? Who wants to stay the
Who wants it?
same?
Exactly.
God, no. No, if I was to say the same, holy shit, man, I just can't even imagine where I would be right now. I wouldn't be here if I'd stayed the same as, you know, what my experiences have led me to. Like, if your spirituality is based on, you know, being in that victimhood and being in those experiences and being in that thing where you go, my spirituality, you know, or how I see myself and how it is based on my experiences. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're someone who's had a really, really difficult time, and there are so many of us out there that have, how you react to those experiences will have a huge effect on you. Spirituality is, it, like you said, being able to rise above it, being able to see it from a different angle and take what you need from it, and then discarding that you don't.
Yeah.
You know, cut the cords, remove shit. It'll determine how those experiences are for you. It'll determine how far you go with your spirituality. It'll determine what level you are at on your spirituality. Because there's just so many levels, there's so many platforms to it. So if I compare now my spirituality, how I am now, as opposed to how I was, say, 30 years, gosh, showing my fucking age now. 30 years ago, it would be completely different. You know, in a terrible marriage, and was I married then? No, maybe not. No, God, no, I was like 12. Jesus Christ. Not here, it's not legal, but no. But if I go back to those times, how my spirituality then was completely different.
Yes.
Based on
You're
my
more
circle, my
influenced by your
experiences,
family at
exactly
this point,
right.
yeah.
So, but as an adult, you get to change all that, and that's when you
And
get to change
life
things.
happens. And how the choices you make based on the experiences that you are
Yeah.
afforded
Yes.
determines then how those changes
Yeah.
filter through and how
Exactly.
you evolve as a
And
person, or don't.
it's like a huge filter system, isn't
Mm.
it? It's those experiences will either set you up or knock you down, and how you choose
Yeah.
to deal with them. It's all part of your spiritual journey. It's all part of your journey here on earth. So it's all part of it. But I don't necessarily see spirituality, like I said, I don't see spirituality as being a religious practice or
No.
faith. I don't. I see spirituality as myself, my relationship with me, and who I am as a person, and who I want to be as a person.
Yes.
That's how I see it anyway. But that is only our truth. That is only our answer to that. Everyone's going to be different on that, and everyone's going to have a different viewpoint on that, which is great because we're not all the same.
That would be so
Boring.
utterly boring.
Oh my God. There'd be no. Wow. Trust me, none of you want to be like me. It'd be boring. It would be too boring. It would be crazy. Chaos. Just like, no, that's a terrible thought. Anyway, everyone is all different on that. So, but I really did like your line. That truth that just seeped out of you. Finding
and
maintaining
your connection
with your
truth.
With your truth. Say it with me. Finding and maintaining your connection.
To your
truth.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.